As the longest-serving sheriff in the history of Hall County, Sheriff Jerry Watson is honored to announce his candidacy for re-election.
I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I care about people.
For the past 29 years, Jerry has served our community as a street officer, criminal investigator, and as a sergeant with the Grand Island Police Department. In 1998, he decided to run for sheriff and has served in that capacity for the past 19 years. As a husband, father, and grandfather, his primary goal is to keep our community safe.
We're 24/7, 365. We never close. In this profession, the public expects no less.
As a fiscal conservative, he has streamlined processes and procedures, bringing the sheriff's office into the 21st century while saving taxpayers money and increasing officer presence on the street. Sheriff Watson is dedicated to compassionate problem solving and collaborative solutions.
That was kind of the focus from the beginning, the collaborative attitude that we've developed. We're going to make this thing work, and we're going to bring the team together.
In 2000, Sheriff Watson began a discussion that resulted in a regional coalition known as SCALES, South Central Area Law Enforcement Services. This multi-jurisdiction group, made up of 14 different law enforcement agencies today, work together as a unit to protect our communities, stay cutting edge with trainings for the region, and also tackle issues of the day with one voice.
We all have the same issues and the same problems. We're doing what's best for our communities and leaning on each other and developing those relationships and being more efficient in what we're doing.
The relationships built through SCALES are invaluable. According to Sheriff Watson, cooperation and collaboration are best friends. When strong relationships are formed, effectiveness and efficiencies will follow, ultimately making our communities safer.
We meet every December with all of our regional senators, all 6 of them, for an afternoon, and we sit down and it's a roll up your sleeve and let's just talk business. We're letting them know what's going on out in their districts, and they appreciate that.
Our SCALES call-out team is always on standby to respond to critical incidents anywhere within our region.
It's a comfort to know that with a phone call I can have 50 investigators on scene helping me when I've actually only got 4 on staff. It's got to be a comfort to me and a comfort to the taxpayers to know that that tool is in the toolbox.
Early in Sheriff Watson's career, he was continually frustrated with the ineffective systems in place. Drug offenders were continuously entering into a never-ending cycle, destined for failure.
All I'm doing is recycling these people. All I'm doing is I'm arresting them, adjudicating them, incarcerating them, and they're coming right back out and they're doing the same thing over and over and over.
After learning about drug court, Sheriff Watson solicited assistance from several other regional law enforcement agencies. Together, they worked with county attorneys, public defenders, district court judges, treatment and substance abuse professionals, and many others to bring into existence the Central Nebraska Drug Court.
In 2002, we took our first client into the court. Of our 500 graduates, 87% of them are clean. If you figure what it costs to run these people through that program, the average was about $3,300 a year per participant. The alternative was to send these people to prison at $38,000. And of the $3,300 that it cost to run them through this program, they paid $2,300 for that.
The Central Nebraska Drug Court has saved millions of tax dollars over the course of its 17 years in existence. The program remains strong.
But I'll tell you what the best deal for the taxpayer was. The average meth addict commits 63 crimes a year. Take the 500 people, 63 crimes a year. Do you think that affects your quality of life? Because once they start contributing into the community, then they become a part of the community.
Sheriff Watson vows to continue to keep our communities safe. This is his priority number 1. He will do that by his continuing support of the Central Nebraska Drug Court, along with supporting the newest court into Hall County known as Reentry Court. Modeled after drug courts, reentry courts will monitor high-risk offenders for several months after being released from prison. Probation will oversee this program and will work closely with law enforcement to monitor participants. Sheriff Watson will also be introducing body cameras into the Sheriff's Office with the assistance of the Reynolds Foundation. This project is already in the works and should be completed by the end of 2018. Sheriff Watson also intends to continue his efforts in teaching officers how to better care for themselves through the Blue Courage program, which teaches coping skills to those who deal with trauma and stress on a daily basis. He continues to work collaboratively with other law enforcement agencies across the region to offer a better quality of life for everyone. He also continues to serve our state after again being reappointed by the governor to the Police Standards Advisory Council.
You know what? We live in the same community, and we just need to make our community a good place to raise kids.
Sheriff Jerry Watson would appreciate your vote on May 15th. This message was paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Sheriff Jerry Watson, Kim West Dinsdale, Treasurer.